Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Welcome back, and thank you for having me back in your home today. A friend sent me a little recipe that I'm going to try with you all for the first time. It's like a little sugar cinnamon roll that you can have for dessert. You can have for dinner. You don't have to put the sugar and cinnamon if you didn't want to. So we're going to make that today. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to use my KitchenAid to do this. I've got 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to put in here. To that 4 cups of all-purpose flour, I've got 1 teaspoon of salt. And I've got 3/4 teaspoon of yeast. Now I use fast-acting yeast. You can use it whatever you want to. I'm going to stir this up just a little bit. Okay, now I've got 4 tablespoons of butter. It's been sitting out so it's kind of melted, but you can see there's some chunks in there. I just cut up 4 tablespoons of butter, chunk butter, and just set here. Now we'll put the dough hook on, and of course it's not going to. Okay, I can't get this thing to stay on. Okay. I'm going to turn it on real slow. Good. And all this should do is just sort of make like little pellets in there. Hold on one second. Let me get my... Okay, let me turn this off for a second. And scrape the sides down. Now you can do this by hand if you want to also, but I just thought I would try using the dough hook and see what happens. Now, I've got 1.3 cups of milk that I'm going to start adding real slowly. I probably will stop it right now and scrape down the side some. Scrape from the bottom before I add the rest of my milk. Okay. Go ahead and add the rest of my milk in here. And it's really beginning to come together now. It's the shape of, it's picking up all the flour. And hopefully it's going to make a nice dough ball for me. Okay, I'm going to probably stop it right now and actually get into it myself with my hands. Let me scrape all this off. Let me take my dough hook off. I want to make sure I get all the flour and everything off the bottom, off the sides here, so I can get it all incorporated in this. As you can see, there's still a lot of flour at the bottom, and I want to make sure that I pick all that up. Okay, I think that's about all I'm going to get. So now I'm going to take this and make it into a nice sized ball. Move this out of the way. And I'll put it on my counter. And I'm going to start kneading it. I'm going to do this for about, maybe a minute or 2. And what I'm doing is I'm activating that yeast in there now. Trying to get it all activated. As you can see, it's a very pliable dough. It's not a sticky dough. But I want to make sure that I do it for at least a minute, that I'm kneading it, that I'm getting all the dough incorporated with the yeast. Okay, now I've done that, I'm going to put it nice little ball shape. I've got another bowl here that I'm going to put it down in the bowl. I'm going to cover this up for about 20 minutes and let it set on the counter, and then we'll come back, we'll work on it. Them into little balls, and what I did is I cut them in 4 different places and 3 places, and I pinched the ends together to make little flowerettes. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check my oil and see if my oil is hot enough, and if my oil is hot enough, I'll come back to you and we'll put one of them in. Okay, my oil is really hot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide these in the oil. That's 1, that's 2, and I'm going to let those start getting browning. Now in the meantime, when they come out, they'll be just fried, so you can leave them just plain. In the little center, you could put jelly or jam if you want to eat it, or butter. I've got a little bit of, I always keep cinnamon sugar here for my toast, like cinnamon sugar, and I've got a little bit of powdered sugar also. So I'm going to put cinnamon sugar on one and powdered sugar on one just to show you. But they're good just by themselves. Just put a little bit of butter on them because they really are bread. They're a pastry type bread. but you can make them, you know, more flavorful by adding the. Okay, let's turn these over. I've got my paper towels right here for them to drain on when they come out. I want the bottoms to get nice and golden brown. But it's just a fun way. It's really like a biscuit dough. It's like if you took biscuits and you just made the biscuits and you made the design and put powdered sugar or something on. I'm doing the same thing right now. Let these cook just a little bit longer on the bottom. Then they'll get nice and brown on the bottom. It's just a fun thing to make. I just cut the ball out, put my shot glass on it, and cut little slots around it and just pitch the ends together. And it's very simple to do and very easy to make. Well, you saw how easy the flour was to make, and okay, I'm going to give these about another minute, and then I'm going to take them out. You want to make sure there's enough oil in your pot so they can float. See, that's got nice and brown on the bottom. I might turn these over one more time. Then when I take them out, I'll let them drain. Then I'll put the next 4 in. All right, these are nice and brown on both sides. I'm gonna take them and put them on my paper towel here. Now, what I'll tell you, while they're still hot, I'm gonna take one, put a little bit of cinnamon sugar on it. I'm gonna take the other one and put some powdered sugar on it. It's just a matter of choice. You don't have to do either one of those, or you can just leave them plain like that. So I'm gonna put the last 4 in here to cook. That's why I use the parchment paper, because it comes right off the parchment paper. And that oil is hot, so you wanna make sure that you don't burn yourself doing this. Okay, there we go. Now while these cook, I'll let these drain and I'll put them on a platter, and I'll be back to you in just a few minutes. Okay, thanks for coming back. Our flour bread pastries are done, and I put the powdered sugar one up front, and I put the cinnamon and sugar here. The rest of them are just plain. Like I said, if you want to add butter with them, or if you want to put a jam in it, and I'll just take one of them, and I'm going to break it open. See how fluffy and light that is inside? Really good. It's not a sweet pastry at all. It's more, like I said, a flour dough pastry. It's like a biscuit almost, but I've just jazzed it up, and you can turn it into a pastry by adding the different tops to it. Or like I said, put some marmalade on top of it, with some blackberry jam or some cherry jam in the middle. Hope you try these. It was fun making these for you and bringing these to you. Look me up on Facebook and like me on Facebook. Thank you for subscribing to me on YouTube. Your support means the world to me. I enjoy bringing these fun things to you. You're my family, you're my friends. You have been my support system, and I cannot thank you enough. You take care of yourself. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your day, whatever you're doing. Know that I'm thinking about you. And from sunny Mexico, I'll say, God bless you and take care.